100 years. Oh, ow, shit.
Oh, 08. We got married in 08. What is that?
15. It'll be 15 this year. 15 of the longest, hardest
That's a milestone. And then what? What do you guys do?
That exchange was built on 15 years of marriage and more than a decade of turning married life into a podcast. Now, reports say Tom Segura and Christina P have separated, but they also plan to keep Your Mom's House running. The breakup is private. What happens to the show is not.
But now it's reported that the married couple of 18 years have separated within the last couple of months, according to TMZ.
The reports describe it as amicable, say it happened within the last few months, and say they intend to keep working together. So this is not a video guessing who cheated, who left, or what happened inside their home. None of that is established. The interesting public question is what happens when a marriage is also the foundation of a media company?
I was friends with her. We would do shows like part of the crew, you know?
But would you give her fuck eyes for 5 years?
No. We were totally
just friends.
And I was always thought she was attractive, but you're like, she's taken. And then I got the call, like one of my spies was like, yeah, they broke up. And I was like, I'm going to swing in there and see what's up.
How long after they broke up did you?
It was like a few months.
Their story started before the studio, the tours, and the giant podcast set. They met while doing open mics in Los Angeles. Christina had a boyfriend then, so they stayed friends. After that relationship ended, Tom invited her to go hiking. She did not want the hike, she did want Tom. They eventually married in 2008. The podcast began in 2012. They were a newly married couple recording with a mixing board, 2 microphones, and a computer in a small apartment. That origin is important because the podcast was not simply hosted by a married couple. The marriage itself became the format.
He was very sweet, and that's what drew me to him. Very sweet. So those are his positive attributes. Very mature.
That's it. That's the one list. The one.
For years, the basic engine of Your Mom's House was recognition. Christina would bring up one of Tom's habits. Tom would answer with the calm confidence of a man who had already decided the jury was beneath him. Then both of them would turn a private disagreement into a running bit. Fans learned their nicknames, their family stories, their annoyances, and the rhythm of who would push a joke too far. Guests were useful, but Tom and Christina were the permanent cast. That is why the separation lands differently from a normal celebrity breakup. An actor can leave a marriage and still play the same role. Here, the relationship was part of the show every week.
Welcome to another episode of Your Mom's House. I'm Tom, a.k.a. T-Buns. She's Chrissy, a.k.a. Fart Dog.
Oh.
And we are so excited. We have so much ground to cover today. I can't wait to get into all of it.
Episode 854, uploaded April 8th. Still open in the classic form, Tom introduces himself, introduces Christina, and the two settle into the same desk they had shared for years. But the recent catalog increasingly sells a different version of the show. The thumbnails foreground one host with a guest, and recent episodes often run with Tom or Christina carrying the conversation separately. By episode 868, Christina is thanking Dave Landau for extending his trip to do what she calls her show. That does not prove when the relationship ended. A content calendar is not a court filing. It does show that Your Mom's House had already been testing whether the brand could work with only one of its 2 original personalities in the room.
Anyway, Dave Landau, thank you so much for you extended your stay in Austin just to do my show, and I'm so grateful. Please clap for Dave Landau. He's a very funny man.
I'm happy you asked me.
Oh.
This is where internet analysis usually turns into fan fiction. People see separate episodes, tour schedules, a different tone, or an awkward joke, and decide they can reconstruct an 18-year marriage. They cannot. The public timeline supports a reported separation and a visible change in the podcast format. It does not support claims about an affair, a secret fight, or which person wanted out. Even the promise that they will continue co-hosting comes through unnamed sources in the original report, not a joint statement from Tom and Christina. Their children and the reason for the split belong outside the detective board unless either of them chooses to address it. Operationally, the YMH operation is much larger than one shared desk. It is a production company with staff, sponsors, touring businesses, separate shows, a deep archive, and an audience trained to follow Tom and Christina into different projects. The recent solo host episodes also function like an accidental pilot program. They show that episodes can still be released, guests can carry the second chair, and the channel does not simply stop when one founder is absent. An amicable working relationship would make that transition much easier. But continuing the upload schedule and preserving the original appeal are 2 different problems. The machinery can keep running even if the emotional center changes.
Really roped me in. That's how I knew I loved you, because I would bang you despite the mattress.
That's true.
Before.
Yeah.
And now how long have y'all been married?
Fucking 57 years. I don't know. 100 years. Oh, ow, shit.
08. We got married in 08. What is that?
15. It'll be 15 this year. 15 of the longest, hardest years.
That's a milestone. And then what? What are you guys doing for your anniversary?
Yeah.
That old anniversary exchange is not remarkable because it reveals a secret. It is remarkable because an audience could hear 15 years of shared history packed inside one casual joke. The slight hesitation, the correction, and the automatic teasing all worked because viewers knew these were not two performers meeting for a segment. They had built a life, children, a company, and thousands of hours of material together. A guest can create a funny episode. A rotating co-host can keep the pace moving. Neither can instantly reproduce that backlog of recognition. The separation does not erase the archive, but it changes how new jokes about the marriage will be heard. The practical version of Your Mom's House after this is probably not a dramatic final episode. It is the format already visible on the channel, more guest-driven conversations, more episodes built around one host, and occasional appearances together if the reported working relationship holds. That may even create two slightly different shows under one title. Tom's episodes can lean toward touring comics and his other projects. Christina's can keep the relationship, culture, and parenting angles she has always brought. The risk is that Your Mom's House becomes a podcast network slot instead of a show with one unmistakable chemistry. The opportunity is that both hosts get room to evolve without pretending nothing changed. So the responsible takeaway is surprisingly simple. The reason for the separation is private and currently unexplained. The business experiment is public and already in progress. Tom Segura and Christina P built Your Mom's House by turning married life into comedy, then turned that comedy into a company. Now they have to discover whether the company can support two separate lives without losing the thing that made people care in the first place. The next few episodes will be more revealing than any anonymous rumor, not because they will expose the marriage, but because they will show what Your Mom's House actually is when mom and dad are no longer recording from the same room.